UIA Podcast welcomes Eliana Silva de Moraes from Brazil. Eliana is a lawyer specializing in international health law, food and drug law for Latin America and Europe. She's a professor in international health law. Eliana, considering your experience with both Brazilian and European health law, and especially in light of the European Union Mercosur agreement, what should companies in the health sector, I mean pharmaceuticals, medical devices, food and cosmetics, must keep in mind when doing business with Brazilian and other Mercosur countries?
Well, Jenifer, as the Brazilian Bar Association often says, you should always consult a lawyer when doing business in Brazil. And even more true if we are talking about the foreign companies. Many companies first focus on the business side and only consult a lawyer later when the problems arrive, which is not ideal. So, first of all, and this is very important, companies should always consult a lawyer when doing business between Europe and Mercosur country. Even though Brazil and Mercosur countries are working to harmonize their rules with Europe, there are still important differences. Legal systems, regulatory models, and basic concepts are not always the same between Brazilian and other Mercosur countries, and especially when we consider to go further and have Europe in this scenario. So, for example, a product that is considered a medical device in Europe may be classified as a pharmaceutical product in Brazil. And this changed the entire regulatory strategy, including approvals, timelines, and compliance requirements. That is why companies need to understand local rules before entering these markets. And this role belongs to us, lawyers, to help them to understand, to translate this difference between those regions.
Thank you, Eliana. From a more strategic perspective, what are the key legal points from company in the health sector should consider before entering in Brazil or other Mercosur markets?
Well, from a practical perspective, I'm talking about health issues because I know that there are plenty of subjects matter that belongs to your expertise, for instance. But from our perspective, companies need to plan their marketing to entry very carefully. So legal advice should be part of the business strategy from the beginning and not something other late. Many companies start a business discussion sending their businessmen to like a trade show or visiting some companies, and only when they build the model of the business they consult a lawyer afterwards, and this often creates problems. So companies should pay close attention to contracts, and contracts it's a legal issue, so they need to have this perspective coming from us, especially when we are talking with health products, closes on compliance, advertising, quality control, and how products will be marketed, for instance. In Brazil and other Mercosur countries, consumer protection laws are very strong, and mistakes can lead to serious penalties or even criminal issues. So imagine you start a business from the beginning facing this type of problems. So having legal support from the start help companies reduce risks and build sustainable partnerships.
Thank you, Eliana. Even dispute resolution clauses must be taken consideration. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
And see you soon.
My pleasure. It's always a pleasure to be with you from UIA.